Hey guys, thanks for joining. I'm Maria and I am here tonight to make a gift. I had my very first class with the general public, people I didn't know, on Saturday, and I had it at Crummy Art in downtown Elm Grove. They were very, very nice to me and allowed me to use their space. And we had a great time. A bunch of people came and we made signs and it was fun. But I wanted to make a gift for them to thank them for letting me use their space. And they make by far the most amazing cakes. If you've never been there for a cake or a cupcake or a cookie or anything, you need to go because it's really, really good. So what I wanted to do is actually show you the whole process, because I tend to do these things with transfers I've used before, so I have not used this one before, so you get to see the whole thing tonight. So this is how the transfers come. They come in one big sheet, and then they have lines on them where you can cut them. Usually you see them and I've already cut them up. So tonight you get the pleasure of watching me actually cut it up. So this one is called You're the Sweetest, and it's really cool, the different things that you can do with this, as far as what you do to the cake part. We're going to try tonight what's called the ombre effect, where I'm going to take two different colors and swirl them together to give the cake kind of some unique colors. If it doesn't work, we're going to wash it off and we're going to try something else. I think it'll look okay with the colors I've picked. I'm not 100% sure if it is or not, so we're going to give it a try and see. Now, I'm not going to use the cupcake and the candles because I really just want the cake and the cake base. And I'm not 100% sure that we're going to use the cake topper. But we're going to see how it goes as we go. We might use that, we might not. So I'm going to start with the cake base and then do the words and then go back and do the cake. So, cake base, pull it off the transfer. Do it the right way, don't do it the wrong way. Pull it this way. It's the smaller transfers, it's not as big of a deal. It's when they get really big that it's important to pull them the other way. But I'm going to pull it off, I'm going to fuzz it, and by fuzzing it I just stick it to my shirt, which I wore a fuzzy sweater tonight, so I had that option to have more fuzz. And you just get the fuzz off, make it not as sticky, especially because this is the first time this transfer has been used, so it's not as sticky as it normally would be, but it's still sticky. Then when you wash the transfer, the fuzz just comes right off of it. Now you all know me, I'm not much of a measurer, and I usually have to line things up more than once, but this one looks pretty easy. Yeah, just like when I stick my fingers in it every time. So I think I'm in the center. Okay. Set it down. Get the air out. I think I'm going to make the cake base white. And then I'm going to use the peacock and aquamarine. Those are the colors I'm going to swirl together on the actual cake part. I can't decide on what to do with the words. I don't think I have enough paste. I'm trying to decide if the words should be white or my very, very favorite gray blue color, which I believe is called Ocean Mist. Yep, Ocean Mist is its technical name, but it's a really pretty pale blue, gray blue, almost more gray than blue. It's my all-time favorite color. So you see me use it a lot. And I honestly say it's my first paste that I bought a new container of because I have used it so much. Otherwise, I've made all these signs and done all this stuff with the original paste that I bought when I first started buying stuff. The paste goes a long, long way. Okay, so this is a new transfer, so it's stickier, more firm, holding it down. So I'm going to pull it up. Pulling it up from the middle, not from the sides. Definitely stuck. Could have fuzzed it a little bit better, but it didn't hurt the transfer, which is good. So, I have our cake base. I'm going to do the words because I'm realizing my craft dryer is not in here. It's in my other craft room, where the people come. Which is my big, huge ping pong table room, which has tons of stuff all over it. I need a towel to fuzz this one because this one's bigger. It's not going to fit on my shirt. And the words are, You're the Sweetest. And I'm trying to decide, I think I'm going to do the should I do white? Don't know. Can't decide. I'll decide once it's down. So, pull the transfer off. Now, I didn't write back on the back of my backers, which you should always do when you're, especially when you're new. I'm to the point where I kind of know which side is the shiny side, and I'm going to jinx myself here, but I've never actually put it down incorrectly. But that possibility is always there. One side is shiny on the backer, and one side is more flat. And the shiny side is the side you want to put it on when you're done, because that's the side that it won't stick to. If you put it on the wrong side, it sticks, and then it's not any fun to get off. Alright, I'm giving up on putting them on my sweatpants to get fuzz, because these guys are really sticky. And as I fold it into itself, don't do that. Okay. So, I'm going to put the You're the Sweetest down, closer to the top. Try to get it on the first try. But if you don't, you know, it's okay. You can be like me. You can do it more than once. There's nothing wrong with, getting better at practice, right? Okay. So, I'm going to put it there. And then the cake part, yeah, there's good spacing. Alright, I'm going to try the words in the blue, just because I love the blue. And if I don't like it, we'll wash it off and I'll make them white. I love the white, the starkness, I guess, of the white with the black and white board. The black board, the white frame. I don't know, every time I'm always drawn to the white because I think it looks so cool. So you just, try this time. Just squeegee it on. Make sure you cover all the silk screen. And see, I'm pushing my extra along the way. Just pushing it over. Moving quickly. This is a big surface, so I'm moving quickly so it doesn't dry. And then see all those lines, those thick lines? You got to get those out. Otherwise, when you pull the transfer off, the lines are still there. So, I'm going to pull this off and stick my extra back in. So you just get the lines off. And that's all your extra paste. And it goes right back in the container, which I think is why this paste lasts so long. So like I bought an extra one of this paste because I've used it so many times, but I've yet to open it. This is still my original one. It's about halfway gone. But I know me and I know this paste. I love this color. So I can see it not lasting much longer. Although we're kind of getting into the holiday season and I notice I'm leaning now towards the greens and the reds a lot more. Because obviously I'm doing Christmas stuff. Because I'm getting ready for the next craft fair. Okay. Got the lines out. Start at the corners. Pulling my words off. I love this color. It's so pretty. It's just the most simple. Putting it in my water. Right on top of the other transfer that's already in there. Once they're wet, they lose their stick until they're dry again. So I don't have to worry about it sticking to the transfer. And I put my wet on more thick than I usually do. And I don't have my craft dryer in here. So my wet's not dry yet. I don't want to put this down on top of it. Because if I put this down on top of it, it'll just pull it right back up. And that would be bad. So, what I'm going to do with the cake is you start with the darker color on the bottom. You put dollops of the darker, and then you put dollops of the white. You leave a space between them, and then you take your finger and you swirl them in between. And that what gives you the lighter to darker color on the transfer. We may be redoing the cake bottom because I'm an impatient person, and if I was smart, I'd go get my craft dryer. But I'm not going to do that because I don't want to leave you guys hanging here. So my craft dryer is just it's an actual craft heat dryer. It's not a hair dryer. It looks like a hair dryer. And you can use a hair dryer, most definitely. You don't have to have a craft dryer. But it gives more heat So you can use it for other things, is really the moral to the story. I believe the true intention of it is for embellishing. I'm not an embellisher that way. My paper crafting has always resulted in scrapbooking, but no embossing and stuff like that. So it's just been, I've used it for this and a foiling habit that I have. I like to foil things. Okay. So I'm going to put the cake down. And what I'm going to just try to do is not push it down onto the wet, or the not dry for very long white stuff. Oh, it's got little ridges in it for it needs to go over the white stuff. Okay. Well, we'll see. We might be washing it off and redoing it. But that's the beauty of this stuff. It just washes off. Get your air bubbles out so that you don't have any bleeds. I'm going to stick my dollops of the peacock down at the bottom. Smear them out a little bit. Need more peacock. Once you smear the colors together, you can't put them back in your container because you're obviously creating a new color. So then I just kind of get it going, squeegee a little bit before I smear, or before I swirl with my finger, so that I'm not wasting too much paste. But you want, you know, kind of a good amount of paste so that you can you have something to swirl. Otherwise, if you don't have anything to swirl, you don't get the effect. So put that extra back in, and then we're going to go this way with the peacock. Okay, that's alright. Too much of it. Get that in, and then I'm just going to take my finger and go into the excess and swirl away. And what that does is it makes the colors blend and gives you the ombre lighter to darker. In fact, I'm just washing off my finger. Kind of. Didn't do a very good job. Yeah, and we're probably going to be redoing the cake base because it wasn't dry. Don't you love how I can see it before you can see it? Okay, this is cool. This is adorable. Check it out. Look how fast we made that sign. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'll actually wash the transfer off, dry it, lay it back down over it, and I will only redo this part. I don't have to wash the whole thing off and start over. It's kind of a nice little trick to it that I've had to do a couple times when I've either had the paste dry or do something like that. I'll just wash the transfer, dry it quick, lay the transfer down, but only repaste this part so I get rid of that line. I could also take a paintbrush, but you don't get, I don't find myself, because I don't really have any painting skills, it doesn't get as smooth on there as I like it. So this is my sign for my crummy art people to say thank you for letting me have my class in their bakery, but don't tell, because I'm not going to give it to them until tomorrow afternoon. So if Natalia, if you're watching, pretend like you didn't see this, okay? I hope you're all having a great night, and thanks for watching me.